Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is yet another day, a new day, a bright Sunday, a day that the Lord has made, that we should all be glad and rejoice in it. If you don't like this day, which other day would you prefer to have? It is a privilege to come again, once again, to this platform, Richmond Media, to discuss with you from the beginning life experience, where life began from, the obstacles that have been a long life way, and how one has been able to endure. This afternoon is another episode, a way to naturopathic doctor. Who have we got today? It is no other person than our lovely brother, Dr. Yao Mensa. Dr. Mensa, you're welcome to Richmond Media.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm grateful.
Thank you so much for coming as well. It is a pleasure to have you.
Same here. It's a pleasure too.
Thank you so much. This afternoon, we hope you will take us through your journey to where you are at the moment. The reason for this is to encourage the youth of today. Nowadays, most of us think that money just comes as soon as your hand touches something, either a job or you're learning on something. But it's just, should I say, a tiny number of people that get that opportunity. But the rest of us, how do we go by it? But when we see the way that the social media is tuning into or turning towards, people think money, it just comes as it comes. But there are steps that people have to pass through before we get to that point. Today, you will talk us through your journey where you have passed through to get to this level to become a doctor, naturopathic doctor. Someone might have not even heard this journey before, even the name of naturopathy hasn't come in mind before. But today, we are privileged to have you. Maybe your life experience will change someone who is stuck up there, doesn't know what to do to get to the right path, to get to his or her destination. I always say, no one can be like you, Dr. Mensah, but someone can learn from you. You're welcome once again. Dr. Mensah, thank you. My name is Hannah Bimah, listeners and viewers. If you're watching us wherever you are watching us from, this platform is no other platform than Richmond Media. You are always welcome to this program every Sunday at 4 o'clock. Dr. Mensah, may we know who you are, please?
Okay, thank you very much. I'm grateful for the opportunity. Um, my name is Maurice Mensa. Yao because I was born on a Thursday, so I'm a proper Yao within the time frames of Thursday. Yes, my mom is Grace. My dad is Enoch Mensa. Um, I was born in Kumasi. I've lived in Kumasi most of my years. I'm currently in Accra, but I've lived in Kumasi for quite a number of years before moving to Accra. Um, my dad and mom hail from Volta region in Ghana. But then they have also lived in Kumasi almost their entire lives. That's where our grandparents were living. So I mean, that's where we have been trained till this time. So basically, that's it.
There is one thing that the youth of today are saying. They will say that my parents are from this side and a different world. So I can possibly say that you are an Ashanti and your parents are Voltarians.
Not really.
No, 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 no. That's what nowadays, that's what I've been
That's
hearing.
what they do say. I was just born there, but I think I'm from where my parents are from.
Okay, you are saying that, but that's not the logic that is going on nowadays. So you are from a
Really?
different world, and your parents are from. I don't know how a tree can be planted and be coming from somewhere, being planted at a
Mhm.
different place, and then the branches are coming from a different place. Anyway, whatever it is, it was just by the way, just to keep
That's
us
right.
going. Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. So now you have given us where life began from. Has there been, when life began, where did you start from? Where have you had your education from? Which school? I want you to take us through a proper journey
Okay.
where you started from and then to the level
Okay.
that you are at the moment. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
My dad, when I was young growing up, I realized he was a traveler. So in most cases, when he's traveling, he carries me along. And so my education during the early stages of my life has never been stable. From this school to the other, from this to the other, until unfortunately he became redundant and wasn't working anymore. While I was gaining consciousness as an infant, the luxury was there because my dad was working. So there was that kind of feeling of affluency in the home. So the comfortability, whatever you wish for, whatever, those times when there are no luxurious stuffs in people's homes, you are lucky enough to have it in your house. And so you feel privileged and all those. Unfortunately, it got to a point in time where my dad wasn't working anymore, became so redundant, and things weren't responding actually financially. And so we had to be moving from this end to the other, just to have a good place to reside as tenants. Fortunately for us, I've lived around um, Aloga Junction. Aloga Junction, there's a place they used to call, it's around Aloga. I've lived there with my auntie. I've lived at Sipebu Krum with my grandmom those years. I've lived at Aswase, I've lived at Abuabo, I've lived at Sewaba. So a whole lot of places
So
due
you are
to
a proper Kumirican, yeah?
I'm a proper American, a high
That's
type American. Those were early stages. So growing up, there are other places that I have lived too. But during the early stages, those were the places, and I've schooled all around such places during my primary stage. But eventually, we got to reside permanently at Abuabo. Through my stages of education, I went through TI Ahmadiyya Senior High. So I know most of my colleagues who are watching, yes.
oh,
And
that's where I think Osafo Zubempa also schooled.
oh, great,
Yes, I've
great.
heard of that. Yeah.
That's right. And so when I completed, things were still difficult. In fact, SS life was a bit tough for me because my parents were finding it difficult to fund my education. It was a hell. I remember when I completed JSS, I nearly committed suicide. It was one evening, one night. It was lights out during that particular time. I felt so burdened. I felt so weak. I believe I was at the weakest point in my life. As young as I was then, I felt I was so weak in life. Things weren't going on as I expected. So I began going through a lot of trauma in my life. So I've been through depressive moments in my life. So I stood out that I want to go to the pharmacy to buy a drug just to end my life.
Wow.
So
Doctor, hold on there for me. At this moment, I would like to acknowledge our viewers so that they can also call other people to join us at this moment. Brother Akon George says, good afternoon. Brother Akon continue to say that this is a nice program. Lovely watching you live from Ghana in the Volta region. Sister Regina Otis says, greetings. Hanabima myself, but it's not me, it's my son using my account. Says, which mobile media? Well, Richmond Media. That's what he wants to say. Well done, you Rich Hall Media. Now, Mickey, don't worry, he's just giving us some stuff. He said, well done to Richmond Media. You are doing great job. Face Red Heart. Thank you, Obrimpong, for keeping watching us. Brother, you might continue at the point of you going to the pharmacy to buy something. Please take us through. Thank you.
yes, yes. Thank you very much. And so I headed on to the pharmacy, and it was quite late. It was getting late, and it was lights out, so darkness all around. I believed God is aware of whatever we're doing, so He had a different plan for me. Fortunately, I met one of my classmates. That was after GSS. I met one of my classmates, and he was like, Maurice, where are you going to at this hour of the time? That particular moment, I was nearly at the pharmacy shop, and he's one of my friends whom I respect so much. When he called me, oh, he began talking with me from a point as if he knew what I was going to do. Meanwhile, he had no idea what I was about going to do. And I was the quiet type during my childhood years and ages. I was very quiet, very calm, and he just approached. And began encouraging me. I don't know how he began doing that, where it came from. But then he began encouraging me that life comes with a lot of things, and he was given certain examples with what his dad has gone through, blah blah blah, a whole lot of stuff. So I was just quiet listening to him like this. And when he was done, I just thanked him, and I returned home. I went and cried the whole night until the very next morning. But God was so good to me that um, I didn't go through that kind of painful experience alone. I saw God in my life. And that was the very moment and the very time I began getting close to God, my creator, because that was the second time I was about losing my life. The first time I was quite young during my primary stages. I got so much sick. I was rushed with ambulance to the hospital, Agogo Hospital. Um, I I became unconscious for so many hours. When it critically happened around 12 p.m., I think the ambulance came in around 3 p.m. thereabouts onwards. I never saw anything again until the following day, the next morning, when things were explained to me that I went off. So there's been blood transfusion here and there, a whole lot of other stuff. So the suicidal thoughts were the was actually the second thing that could have caused my life. But through it all, God intervened. And then
Amen.
through the struggles of SS, I completed, and I was given the opportunity to join the military because one of my brothers works with them. He's a mechanic for them. So he was given the opportunity to bring on board one of his brothers. So he thought of sending me. And during that particular time, I've also taught the line of studying in health. And I was so much in knowing about health. I was so much in tuned in healing people because I know that I have my grandparents, some of them, many of them being doctors. One of my grandparents is he worked at the Kolebu. He retired around 99. And so my family wanted me to be a medical doctor too, actually. One of my fathers was insisting that I go study medicine. He was so serious about that. When my other brother also came in with the military opportunity. But during that time, I have been an Adventist for a couple of years, and I have gained an interest in the Adventist faith. And so my thinking changed. It became quite different. So I started reasoning from a different trajectory. If I had not been an Adventist by then, today I would have been a military person or a medical doctor. And so when these two things were coming on board, that particular father who wanted me to go in for the medicine was ready to pay for all bills and everything. He wanted to take care of my education, everything. And my other brother too was ready to support me in the military aspect. So it became a banter. I was thinking, I started praying about it. Um, right from childhood, um, I've been interested in healing people with the little knowledge that I gained. So I started researching into health while I was young. Unfortunately for me, when I became a 7 day Adventist, um, I began reading some books within the Adventist faith, and it changed my thoughts about health completely. And I said, wow, then I would rather want to heal people naturally than to go the other way around. So I was thinking about being a dietitian. So I've been to PNUST. I did some courses on dietetics and nutrition, all in the name to build myself. And I gained the opportunity to also study in one of your universities, School of Natural Medicine. In fact, when it came, I had a lot of opportunities. I had some of the institutions from China here and there. But if you look at the amount involved and all those, there were huge sums of amount of money involved that you have to be paying, from Ghana. Sometimes when you calculate the dollar and how things are going and from the background that we are from, it became a bit challenging. But God helped me so much. I had a couple of people who were sponsoring me financially, who helped, even from the church. And so through that journey, gradually, I also promised God and myself that through whatever study, through whatever study, endeavor, or study in this life, I would want to keep His word first. And so all that I was reading and still learning from the books of God when it comes to healing, I still put them to practice and I make sure that uh, those are the topmost ones I recommend and speak about mostly in my life. So basically, this is how it has been, and a couple of travel here and there for health programs and all those. And besides that, a lot of programs have been coming up. Having some clinics that I have worked with in Kumasi. I came to build a consortium in Accra years back, and gradually we are here with a clinic. So this is how far the Lord has brought us to. Amen.
Thank you so much. At this moment, I would like to acknowledge Sister Josephine Adebi says, God bless you for using your life to inspire us. And she continued to say that God bless you, Sister Hannah and Dr. Morris. Thank you so much, Sister Josephine, for always spending time with us and allowing your husband to also spend time with us. And there the husband goes, no, that's Brother George. Also, Queen, my brother says, nice one, my Kumasi brother. That's to you, Dr. Morris. Thank you so much, Brother George.
Thank
Also,
you. Thank you,
for
Brother
watching
George.
us all the time. And Brother George Akon is also watching us. That's what the one that I was referring to, the husband of Sister Josephine. Thank you so much, our viewers and listeners. Please continue to share the program and then add any comment that you want us to acknowledge, or if you want us to answer anything, please don't hesitate to just pop it up in the comment section. Invite friends and family to join us this afternoon so that they will also understand how and where Dr. passed to get to this point to be called a naturopathic doctor. Thank you so much, Dr. Morris. Please, you may continue. So when you went through, when your brother, they wanted you to go to medicine, one wanted you to join the army. How did you get into that aspect, into the uh, your journey through to get to the naturopathic
The
aspect?
naturopathy.
Yes.
In fact, it even caused me a problem. I even had an issue with that father who really wanted to sponsor me through the medicine. I believe that it's more of God's intervention. It's more of God's intervention. Because most of our books that I have been reading today, just to expand my knowledge in the natural healing fraternity, it hasn't been easy. When you look at the particular truths and angles where God really wanted us to be healing from, how He wanted the healing fraternity or the health fraternity to be like. I was exposed to just a little. I was convinced. I've worked with so many companies, and there were a lot of people who came in my life, and they all contributed greatly towards my progress in life and how far I've come. And so when it got to being decisive, taking an entrenched position as to the particular line to toe, it became a challenge. I only prayed about it and I was highly determined that no, I have been convinced that this way of healing isn't the proper way. So I will do whatever it takes. If even the whole family neglects me, God will provide. That's how I comforted myself because I wasn't reading anyone's word. I was reading God's word. And I was having all these emphasis from the Bible. I, some of those quotations were Genesis chapter 1, verse 29, 30, 31. Ezekiel 47, verse 12, Revelation chapter 22, verse 2. All these quotations came to play Psalm 104, verse 14. And so I was telling myself, no, I cannot go out and pursue a cause I know very well wouldn't bring healing that God endorses. If God will not hold anyone accountable, I know He will hold me accountable because He has plainly
Definitely.
shown me the truth that I'm supposed to work with. And so I also stood firmly on my grounds that they should forget about anything. I was still even my dad, my very own dad. He actually because he's been into military before. My dad has been into military before. See, he actually wanted me to be in the military, and then even in SS, I was a cadet corps, and I was the intelligence officer for my cadet corps during even SS time. Now, I've had so many certificates in steeplechase and hiking and a whole lot of other military involving activities. So it was my passion from the beginning to be a military person. But God came into the picture and everything changed. I
So,
would say it's God.
so how did it change? That's where you are here.
Yes, so I just started praying about it. I was praying about it. I have been fasting, I have been consulting elders, and gradually they were also encouraging me. So I just began and said, no, I still want to go the natural way. I believe you went off when I was explaining these parts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so I was chanced by God's grace, had the opportunity. I had some series of nutrition and dietetic courses here in UST. And then before offering the naturopathy, pursuing the naturopathy in one of your schools, School of Natural Medicine in UK. It wasn't easy though. It wasn't easy because of the money involved. But by God's grace, most of people around all helped. I had some prominent figures in my life. Sometimes you go to them, talk to them. I need to pay this amount of money. I need to do that. I need to do that. And most of them has really helped us to this far. And we thank them. We believe that it is by God's grace that He chose them for us so we can get to this level.
Thank you.
So this journey thus far, yeah.
So when you did your course in the UK,
Yeah,
was it online?
yeah, it
Was
was
it?
online.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So
And
this
unfortunately,
chose.
in Ghana, we don't have some of these courses. So
Okay.
it also became a challenge when I was thinking that, oh, okay, if I can professionally come out to be healing people naturally and not to go the other way, medicine, the medicine courses are so much here. What then can we really do? During those times, I had the opportunity with a friend. When I started with the digestion and nutrition course at KNUST, that's when I began with this on. And it hasn't been even only one online course. There are other institutions we have so many courses with, all just to expand your territory of understanding the naturopathy fraternity so you can operate well.
Thank you so much. So, how have things changed? Because from what you have given me up to this point tells me that your set target in life, you have been able to achieve it. If that is the case, Has the COVID changed anything at all within your field?
Okay, with my field, I would say it's it gave a very positive reflection of what we stand for. I'm so proud that when the COVID came, it also became a surprise to me that the world responded to naturopathy. We have fields of naturopathy, there are a lot of angles, dimensions that you can take it from. So the general naturopathy one, we talk about dietotherapy, that is how to heal with diet. We talk about physiotherapy, how to heal with massage, exercise, and anything regarding physio. We talk about geotherapy, how to heal with the soil. We talk about aerotherapy, how to heal with the air. We talk about um, heliotherapy, how to heal with sun rays. You know, we talk about phytotherapy, how to heal with plants. And I realized hydrotherapy, how to heal with water, hydrotherapy. And then aerotherapy became one of the two major therapies the world recognized and acknowledged during COVID moments. And during those times, a lot of people were trooping in because they were being infected with the so-called COVID-19, and they were bunched on my hands. People were just coming in with pressure because they've heard that naturopaths are able to handle that naturally. And so it got to a point in time I wasn't able to handle them. They were becoming many. So we had to create WhatsApp platforms for a lot of them, even the health personnel that we had in the country, especially the nurses. So I had so many nurses during those times, and I was only giving them voice audios because we were needed everywhere during that particular time. And I realized that the aerotherapy and the hydrotherapy were the two main therapies people understood and were practicing. I'm talking about steam inhalation. It became a major remedial practice at our various homes where they boil neem leaves and other stuffs, cinnamon roots, and whatever, a whole lot of things they boil, and then you see them inhaling the vapor or the steam just to, combat the COVID. And besides that, a lot of researches came up. Some of these naturopaths were coming up with their researches. Um, the plant remedies that they were given to people, and that was actually succeeding with them. They were coming up with such researches, and it really helped a lot of people in the system. And so I would say naturopathy gained a lot of recognition during the COVID moments, and most of these therapies were used, and we weren't even aware it's anything belonging to the naturopathy fraternity.
Thank you so much. At this moment, I would like us to have a commercial break. So please stay tuned, whoever is watching us. If you're sending money from from UK or anywhere in the Western world to Ghana, wherever you are, it doesn't matter. Depending on which currency you are using, you just have to download the OA Pay, and then you can use it straight away. How do you go by this? You just send money from wherever you are to Ghana through us. Just send it through us, and then we will just give it to your recommended person that you want us to give it to. Is it for school fees? Is it for feeding? Is this for hospital bills? Or are you embarking on any project that you would like us to send money instantly? I recommend OAPay to you. On your first transaction, you get £10, €10, $10, depending on wherever you are. You just 10 out of that money will be given to you for free. You don't like this, what else would you like? But before you get that, you have to use the code Richmore. And Richmore is where we are speaking to you from. It's RICHMO. That's the code that you have to use, and you get all the goodies surrounding this transfer. I recommend OAP to you and everyone around you in your community. Onye adɔfoɔ mesrɛ wo sɛ wopɛ sɛ wode sika woma ne sika anaa wosoma sika de kɔ Ghana mekamfo sika ma ne nkorabata baako pɛ de ama wo ɔno ara ne oap deɛ wode maayɛ nea ne de ama wɔ bisua de ama wo ɛfrɛ no tua meka na mentua wo ka mprɛ a ɛdi kan a wode bɛsɛnde sika no me nua mepaakyɛw wobɛtumi anya £10 hwi afiri so $10 €10 baabi bi a wowɔ biara ne sika mu no wobɛnya 10 ɛwɔ so wompɛ wei na ɛdeɛ na wopɛ ɛno nti mesrɛ wo fa sika ma neɛ ɛfa yɛn so na yɛde bɛma abusua ma wo ɛyɛ school fees mu nsɛnsɛm anaa ayareɛ sabea mu nsɛnsɛm anaa kɔm na de abusua anaasɛ adwuma bi na woyɛ a afifire ate wɔ a wohu nea wonyɛ w'ani afekyere mu a wohu kwan amfa so a womfa sika yi nkɔ fie kamfo OAP de ama wo mepɛkyɛ wo download app no download yi a amono mu hɔ a na wobɛtumi ayusu de sika no ma yɛpɛ de bɛma wɔ busuafoɔ meda mo ase wɔ nua moma yɛmmoa OAP na yɛnyusu na ɛbɛboa yɛn de anigye ne nkuranhyɛ ɛbɛba yɛ abrabɔ mu na ɛbɛma yɛn de nkonim meda mo ase bebree nti Dr. Morris yɛbɛtoa yɛn dwumadie no so.
Right.
Yeah. So, Dr. Morris, who has been your inspiration, who has been your motivator in life throughout your journey to this point?
Thank you very much. In fact, I take motivation from a lot of things. I don't really take it from the person as an object, but I take my inspiration from the action of someone or the actions of people. If anyone is able to achieve something or he speaks wisdom, I cherish wisdom a lot. I cherish wisdom so much. And right from my childhood, I've lived and I've been with a lot of grown-ups. They have been very, very helpful. They advise me a lot. They give me a lot of wisdom and insight into where I've not even been. And so sometimes before I get there, I'm well equipped with some of the know-hows and the knowledge or the wisdom pertaining to how to function or operate within such jurisdictions. And to articulate through, honestly speaking, I don't actually look at objectively the persons involved. Because sometimes I believe that phenomenally, persons can disappoint you. When you look up to people, sometimes you might even be carried away in endorsing the wrong that they do. Because I believe this world is imperfect. I am not perfect. No one is perfect. So I normally take motivation from acts rather than the actors.
I'm getting you very well.
So that has been the very thing. So I like reading, I like researching, not always about the mainstream, what the general opinion is like, but to go deep core research to understand. If I don't gain such discernment, it becomes very difficult for me to propagate whatever truth I have. And so I like discerning so much. And my quietness has also helped me so much. So ever since I got married, I've not been gotten stuff as I used to. When I was not married, I was having the time to myself. So I'm able to sit down, analyze, and reason for hours with no interruption. And it helps me get to the core of things that I want. It builds my intellectual capacity and faculty. For me to be able to decipher through things, to acknowledge the disparities between things, and to stand up for what is right, it takes a momentum of time reservedly for that alone to be much thoughtful in my life. So I've been reasoning, I've been thinking a lot. So sometimes I just have to tell my wife to excuse me for me to reason, because sometimes when we are together, I know ladies, women, you want time, you
We
want
like
attention.
attention, of course. Yes, we do. The attention, we like it.
You're always going for attention, not at ease. And so sometimes it becomes a bit challenging for me at this moment, but I'm still explaining things to her. That's how I have come up to this level, and I wouldn't want to lose that credential and critical aspect of my life. It's so imperative to me. When I'm quiet, I reason, I think. I'm not a negative thinker, I'm a positive thinker. So whenever I get the opportunity to think, to reason, it helps me. It helps me blossom. It helps me to be fruitful. And I become successful in so many things that I do. For me to recollect most of the stuff that I've learned, it wouldn't be difficult for me at all. I just need a time of solemn moment. I want to be silent. I want to be quiet. And when I have such moments in my life, that's when I'm able to operate within my elements. And so my one of the motivations for my life is to be quiet. When I'm quiet, I'm able to reason further and afar and then deeply, and it helps shapes my life.
Thank you so much, Brother George Akon. Akon says, I'm used to saying Akon. Akon says, fantastic delivery, very informative as well. God bless Richmond Media. And there comes husband and wife. Sister Josephine Adebi says, God bless you, Dr. Morris, for opening up. Thank you so much, Sister Adebi. Continue to say that, please. Okay. Do you have some way of spreading these naturopathic ideas to people aside your clinic? And what is the name of your clinic and activities you do there? Thank you. So, Brother Morris, that is question. Or those questions are for you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, Josephine, currently as we speak, we have the Sankofa Health Movement that is registered in the country. When I started touring around, giving health presentations from my point of view or angle or perspective, fortunately for me, I had a couple of youngsters, young ones who were interested. Some were nurses, some were engineers, a whole lot of them. So I brought them together to form an organization or an association called Sankofa Health Movement in the country, and we are open for anyone who is interested to join. And we do have online lectures that go on every Sunday morning. Every Sunday morning, it's an hour lecture that we do have to study and learn more and research more into naturopathy. And the clinic that I run currently is Amaris Naturopathic Clinic in Accra, Adenta, specifically Oyarifa. Still researching and working on natural ways to handle and treat a lot of these diseases that we have in the system. So I have a couple of my clients who are suffering from cancers, all types of cancers. And then major uh, aspects of my clients are with fibroids, because amazingly enough, God has given me a remedy, natural remedy. In fact, I don't endorse the use of chemicals, to be plain and emphatic. And so when they come, regardless of the type or the kind of fibroid that it is, they go for scans. I do scan at my center, but sometimes I do mind. I also tell them to go to other places just for clarity's sake, for us to be fair enough, so that when they start with the medicine and it's melting, they can go for other scans. So they wouldn't say my system is manipulating and giving wrong results, you know. So I normally do that. So there are a lot of people who come here for fibroid medication because by God's grace, we've had potent medicine for fibroid and it's melting them. You are allowed to do your scan anywhere to compare, even after taking about 4.5 to 5 liters of the medicine. You can go do a checkup and see whether there's a reduction, and that alone will inform you whether you want to continue with natural treatment regarding your situation. And besides the fibroids and the cancers, the diabetes and the high blood pressures are, you know, there's common and small ones that we have been dealing with. Those are not big deals. But all other ailments, generally, we work on them over here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Morris. I would like to, based on your submission, I would like to clarify something because that is one of the biggest problems, um, hunting women. That's how I have to put it. That's hunting women. That's the fibroid. Have you got someone who had a problem with fibroid, couldn't even give birth to that extent that you have take that person through your treatment, and the person has come back to testify that through that she got healed, and then now by the grace of God that person has been able to give birth.
Countless.
Okay.
Countless. They are a lot, and I don't actually advertise. You know, women sell things. So women,
Of
if you
course,
make business with women, I'm
you
telling you,
know,
you will not
we are the
survive.
center for everything, for
The-
publicity. You just need
Yes,
one person and then you just go like that. Men, you don't
yes,
like to talk, so you don't like to share your problems.
yes.
But
That's right.
we need help, so we have to.
Yes,
That's how
and
we
so you
are.
can attest to that fact. So the women have been bringing in a lot of people. As soon as one comes and they realize, no, the fibroid is going down, you know, they didn't go for surgery, just a natural medicine that they are taking, they become bewildered and they start bringing in their people. You know, some go to the extent of the very hospitals that they were going for, the friends that they had. You know, sometimes when you are with some ailments, going constantly for medical checkups and all those, you normally chance on getting friends who are with same conditions. They bring them here. And as I stated earlier, I don't even worry myself engaging you in my machines or with my machinery. I rather want you to go outside somewhere that I do not know by your own choice. Go have your scan. Come start with the medicine. About a month or two, go for another and see whether you are making progress or not. That's what I've been telling them, and they have been doing that always because there's nothing to be afraid of. By God's grace, it's working. By God's grace, it's all by the grace of God. And I
Amen.
don't take a single credit in any of these. It's God who made these for us. It's God who created all these things. If we can fully acknowledge, in fact, I have been saying that we have knowledge extension in the world. My dear, I met one man around Techiman. It's beyond Techiman. The man has a kind of herbs that he uses for bones fractures. When you got bone fractures, there are herbs that he uses, and then you come back to normal with your bones, like nothing has ever happened to your bones. I was surprised. You know, it informed me that our foreparents, they had a lot of remedies, they have died with them. We had remedies, serious remedies. There weren't any condition they weren't able to treat, never in the system. But they are dead and gone. We are now struggling to still maintain the little knowledge that we have had. And so it's a war. So if anyone tells us that nature is not capable of healing our diseases, that's a complete misinformation.
Thank you so much, Brother Morris. It's been a great day with you. So, if someone is watching us this afternoon and the person wants to pass through your way to naturopathic doctor, what advice would you give to the person? And if you have your contact details that you want everyone who wants to contact you either for treatment or for advice, you may be able to do so at the same time. Thank you.
Okay, okay, thank you very much. Anyone willing to pursue or toe this line of profession, foremost, I will advise or counsel you that you build yourself almost strongly to know exactly what you're about engaging yourself in. This is not a profession where you gain affluency. If you are thinking of coming into this profession to be affluent, then forget it. It takes commitment, dedication, and struggle because I've seen a lot of people within our fraternity who are faking up, who are manipulating people, and are doing otherwise. They are misrepresenting what naturopathy stands for. And so, if you want to be in, if you want to be one, God wants lots of people to be within this fraternity. And very soon, the world will be open for naturopathy. So anyone who dreams of engaging in this line of profession, I'm telling you, it's the best that you can vow for as we speak currently, because the future for this work is so bright. I will never ever lie to you, any of us listening. But I want to tell you that it isn't as straight and as easy as we might wish we could have it. Never. There are a lot of challenges right from above. The system does not create the enabling environment for our work to strive. I'm being plain and honest. The system, I'm not talking about someone, I'm talking about the world, how the world has been constructed. It is not favoring us, but soon it will favor us. Very soon, because people are realizing that the natural way of healing is the best, because the word of God never fails, because that is God's way of healing and God's way of lessening the burden and suffering of diseases in this world. And so God's work will strive and it will be great. Anyone who wants to engage in this, currently in Ghana, we do not have such institutions, but you can begin from somewhere. You can begin from somewhere. So through your science courses, you can go through dietetics and nutrition. There's herbal medicine currently at KNUST. Herbal medicine is ongoing. You can wish to pass through that channel, but there are a lot of outside tertiary institutions or universities which are open for naturopathic courses. So if anyone wishes to contact me, I give you a list of them. You look through, look at your capabilities and your abilities, your financial abilities and everything, whether you can sail through with prayer. I believe everyone can do that. We need more people in here to also come out professionally to heal people naturally through the guidelines and instructions of God, the Creator. And so I can put forth my number plus 233 548 5790 plus 233 548 5790. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Morris Yao Mensa. It is a great time to be here with us, and we really appreciate the fact that you have spent about nearly 3 hours with us this afternoon. Your precious time, we do appreciate it, and we hope today will not be the last time. You will see us again whenever we call upon you. Josephine says, thank you for the answers, Dr. Morris. And Brother George Icon says, I like the part of your speech where you always give credit to God. Thank you, Brother George. And then George continued to say that indeed, God is the alternative healer. The, thank you so much for your time, and everyone, to everyone watching us, our viewers and listeners, we say thank you so much for your time, and we do appreciate you very, very well. The same time next week, don't forget to be with us. And I'm hoping that Dr. Morris will be here again with us for another episode that will be in the health sector, which is health issues. Dr. Morris, without you, the program today wouldn't have come on. So we say, may the good Lord, as you always ascribe everything to God, may He, the Almighty God, continue to bless you and to open more avenues for you so that you always give praises and thanks to Him, and you always encourage the youth that are coming so that His work will be fulfilled as stated in the Bible. Until the same time again, may God watch over us. My name is Hannah Bimah, as I am your, should I say, your lovely host? It might be lovely to you or to another person, not. But I say thank you for watching us from Richmond Media. Bye bye for now. God bless all of us. Until then.
Say, Getsemenina Christo Yerashasi Riatse Bonini Naye Adeswa Nichiso Arire Hushe Nakumaso Naokase Sebetumia Makuei Nchemiho Opunisue Nimonyambe Simane Opreniwase Kosiase Nianu Achichiyeni Oyamu Osinebu Dinikratuho Seyadasan